Good morning. Hi, I'm Raleigh Brown, and this is another curve flattening concert. And as you may hear, my voice seems to have gone south this morning. I may be singing in the Johnny Cash range, but we'll see how that goes. And I want to say hi, Jambone Jim and Steve DeHaas, our first folks in here on YouTube, and then Bob McKenna and Slim Edelman and Charlie Bryant. And I'm sure we will see some more. And there's Cindy Glorioso and Terry St. James and Debbie Moore and Kathy Marzik. Welcome aboard, guys. It's good to see you all again. I missed you last week, and it was something which could not be avoided. Ken Nashif, John Hubner's here, and Donna Greenberg, and Warren and Janelle. Brian Kuiper up there in Indiana, and Michael Anthony Wood in southwest Oklahoma. Karen Beatty, my dear friend from New York and the Shore, one or the other. And Keith Shaw is here, and Aretta and Ron. And Dave Van Allen is on YouTube. Linda Worster is here from Western Massachusetts, and all of that. So let's get this show on the road a little bit. First, we cloink. I have my cloinkophonic mug, cloink, welcoming you all back. We'll hope that that coffee smooths out my voice a little bit. And I see Michael Tierson and Audrey Bernheimer and Deb Levy-Clark and Mike Verbeck, Rhonda Scott Merrick. Good to see you all. If I missed anybody, I apologize. David Arthur Radcliffe's here, and like that. So we'll just keep this thing. Heidi and Jerry from out there in Monument, Colorado. A foot of fresh snow. We've been really lucky here. We haven't had much snow at all. You know, and some days you wake up and you pick up your guitar. Maybe this happens to you, and it just sounds terrific. It just sounds as big and clear and fat sounding as can be. And such is the case this morning. So let me kick you off with a great song by the late, great Kate Wolf. And I posted a little bit of the lyric of this online, and so many people wrote in and said, my favorite song, so I figured I would do it today. And I see Eben Atwater is here, and I think I said hi to Kate Mack, but if I didn't, I do now, and Lori Payne and Carol Pred. I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around and they had flown away. And I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. They tell a story I used to know, but it was one that happened so long ago. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the Great Divide. Now I heard the owl a-calling softly as the night was falling, with a question, and I replied. She was gone across the borderline. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the Great Divide. finest hour that I have seen is the one that lies between the edge of night and the break of day. It's when the darkness rolls away. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the great divide. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the great divide. Across the Great Divide by Kate Wolf. And I saw back here, I'm going to back up just a little on my thing, and saw a bunch of other people come in. My friend Carol Wise up there in Maine, who I learned is a friend of my really long-time dear buddy Rita Rubin Long. And had no idea they knew each other, but Rita wrote me and said, oh yeah, Carol's a friend of mine. And Carol's a great singer and songwriter in her own right. There's a bunch of stuff on YouTube of her. And who else is here who I didn't say hi to? Skip Staples. I was just thinking about you, Skip, because I always think about you when I look at that Reverend Gary Davis picture that you and Dr. Mikey bought for me. And I also see your posts about your dogs and stuff, and that's always nice to see. And give that Ken Bloom guy a big hug for me, too. Charlotte Cantrell is here from SoCal, and Linda Pasqua Blaze, who brought me a big pot of soup that I think I'm going to have to freeze most of because there's just too much of it. And then Jeanette Pasqua and Rich Pasqua, who are related to Linda. And Cozy Sheridan, my dear friend, is here. Cozy, because your Dandelion song was the last thing you played in your concert last week. I have had it for an earworm this whole week. I can't get it out of my head. I wake up singing it to myself every morning. It's a great song, by the way. Donna Greenberg is here, and Randall Taylor Craven. Nice to see you. Larry Pattis out there on the West Coast. Another great guitar player. Michael Miller in North Carolina. I think I said hi to most of you. It's filled in. Kate Petrella down there in Florida. And a bloke in England, Mr. Bloke, good to see you again. And like that. Cody Sheridan says, sorry. It couldn't be helped, my dear. So I thought today I would just sing. Sounds all right, right? I thought I would just sing comfort songs, or songs which are comforting to me, as long as my voice holds out. Today is the first day that I can cough without grabbing my lower abdomen. Always a good sign. And of course, Charlie the dog is here with me. He's on the other side of the camera, and he's snoozing peacefully. And there's a little ray of sun on him, and he just looks very contented, although I know he's actually cussing to himself because we're doing this instead of playing with him. So, oop, he's waking. He may knock the camera over. You may hear him moan. No, he just moaned. This one is written by Bobby Charles. Yes, Bobby, the same Bobby Charles who wrote See You Later, Alligator. If I had my way, I'd leave here today. I'd move in a hurry. I'd find me a place where I can stand not have to worry. A place to be loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. I'd find me a spot on some mountain top with no one around me, with valleys and streams, birds in the trees, and lakes that surround me. A place to be loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. Place to forget all my regrets and keep just the good times. A place I could sleep with nothing but peace and feel free at all times. A place to be loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. The Tennessee Blues by Bobby Charles, a Louisiana guy, if I recall. And I knew I'd love him as soon as I saw the album cover, the Bobby Charles album cover. He's like sitting under a tree giving a big kiss to his dog. It looks like a golden retriever or something. Let me make sure we're really in tune here. I actually wouldn't mind it if my voice was this low all the time. Makes me feel almost like a grown-up. So, some announcements for today. There is, as usual, a link right there where my finger's pointing for Venmo or PayPal if you'd like to contribute to the Charlie the Dog Keep the Lights On in Raleigh World and Charlie World Fund. It's always welcome, never expected, but we appreciate it. And the Invisibles are Judith Fox and Kit Serikaku and Joel Biget and Mario Prue and George Young. And I can't think of any other Invisibles right now, although I'm sure there are some. So hello to you. Hello to you all. And if I miss your names here, Terry St. James is here, I see, and Bunny Barnes and Frank Mato and Mark Steele and who else am I forgetting? Cliff Wagner's here. Cliff made this beautiful, beautiful bench. If you can go to Cliff Wagner's page, he one of their dog walking buddies passed away, and he made a bench for her that's going up in the park there in Mount Airy, Pennsylvania, and it is just gorgeous. It's a really work of art. Cozy Sheridan says, "Do you have a cold?" And the answer is, I don't know. Like when you have this surgery, they put a breathing tube down your throat, and it's really kind of traumatic to your throat. So my voice isn't altogether back to begin with. And then this morning I woke up with what felt more like a regular sore throat. It's not too bad right now, but it's hard to tell it from the previous sore throat. And I did a COVID test, and it came back negative, and I don't have any cold symptoms, so I think I'm okay. We'll see how it goes. But I'm laying low anyhow, and if I feel like I'm sick, I do have acupuncture people scheduled, and I can cancel them if I have to. Other than that, I'm staying home for a couple weeks. I can't walk Charlie because if he's outside of our yard, he needs to be on his rock climbing equipment leash belay, and that's no good if you've just had hernia surgery. So that's going to be 4 weeks, now 3. I'm already a week. It's already a week since the surgery. Time flies when you're having fun. And so the answer, Cozy, is I don't know if I have a cold, but I'm feeling a little what we'd call muzzy-headed, and I'm going to take a nap after this. That's for sure. So. Anyhow, if you go to Cliff Wagner's page, you can see that beautiful bench. And I'm seeing if I missed anybody else. Tom Albright is here. I think I got everybody else pretty much. So let me scroll down here. Where's my scroller? There it is. So and Bunny Barnes, her Facebook stuff has all been hacked. So she doesn't have a Facebook page right now, but you can go to bunnybarnes.com and see where she's playing gigs and stuff like that. And Bunny will be opening for me on the 17th, which is 2 weeks from yesterday, here in Percy, Pennsylvania, at the Percy Patchworks Coffee House. It's already up on my page, but I'll put up a more recent one. And Cliff Eberhard says, "You are on my guest list for Sellersville on Friday." Cliff, I really appreciate that. And I love you, and I love you guys, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to really make it out yet. I'm in surgery recovery here, so I'm kind of taking it easy. But I'll let you know how that goes. And you're a mensch, my friend. But I will be at the Percy Patchworks 217. I will be with Magpie in Washington, D.C. on February 28th at the Kennedy Center. At their Millennium Stage for what may be the last of our 50th anniversary of Magpie concerts. And the big CD, which we recorded live, is going to be coming out soon, and I'm all over that thing. Sometimes much to my dismay, but they love having me on it, and so they kind of highlight me a lot. So there's that, and then the schedule is I'm here with you now. I don't know who's on Monday. Cozy will be on Tuesday at 10:30, and I think after that she's going to be out on the road for a while. So you might want to catch her this week, because you may not for a little while after. And I see Jen Lloyd is here. Good morning, Jen. And Rob Horowitz is here. Hi, Rob. And then Wednesday I'll be back at 3. So the schedule is me now, Cozy Tuesday at 10:30, Cozy and Charlie Koch, who also just had a birthday. And I guess I should not be too coy about it, but the Wednesday concert on February 7th is my birthday. I will turn 3/4 of a century old. And so you might join us for that. Maybe I'll play Happy Birthday for myself. Who knows? And I think that's all the announcements. And this next one up, I wanted to play an instrumental that would be fun. I started listening to Lenny Breau again, and Lenny Breau was a great jazz guitarist of a tragic life in which he was murdered by, it's not proven, but everybody pretty much agrees he was murdered by his wife at the time. in L.A. in the early '80s, and but he was really might have been, like so many people said, he's the greatest guitarist who's ever lived. Chet Atkins said he, if he's like Chopin to the guitar or something like that. Anyhow, I started listening to him. When I do that, it makes me want to play all of these, really sophisticated, stuff. But it's not what I wanted to play today. So I went back and I thought about the Reverend Gary Davis, who's up there in the picture on the wall behind me, and how I got to meet him in 1970. He was a little younger than I am now, and he was he also was just a one of a kind guitarist. There was nobody like him, and he was kind enough to sit with me when I heard him play. I heard him play on a Friday night, and then I spent the day with him on Saturday, being his kind of guide boy through a workshop, and then eventually getting him back to the airplane. And and after the workshop was over, I mean, he played like, the workshop was like 2 hours, and he played for like 3 hours. And then when it was over, we were just sitting there in the student union, and all the students had left, and I was sitting there with him. And I kind of looked at my watch. Oh, we don't have to leave for the airport for 2 more hours. And he said, well, what do you want to learn? And this was the first thing I asked him to teach me, because I had heard him play it the night before, and he was it just grabbed me from the beginning. So when he was when he was young, he would go into these honky tonks and he'd hear ragtime piano players, and he was blind, so he couldn't read music or anything, but he would do his version of a guitar version of these piano rags, and this is one of those. It's called Buck Dance. Buck Dance by the Reverend Gary Davis. We'll put those down. And boy, I love his playing. And also, I put up on my page, Bruce Armstrong is here over there on YouTube, and Rich Fowler, hello to you and to Helene. And Dave Mason over there in Scotland, hope you're hanging in there, buddy. And I think I said hi to most everybody. And and also I discovered, there in the category of like really unique, kind of primitive but incredibly sophisticated guitar players, along with Gary Davis, there was a great Bahamian guitar player named Joseph Spence. And I just discovered that there's a documentary about Joseph Spence. It's only about, I think it's about 40 minutes long. And I linked it on my page, and you should go watch it. He was just a wonderful, wonderful guitar player. And there's other tunes of mine which were very much influenced by Joseph Spence's playing. And I'll occasionally play a Joseph Spence tune, although not today. Anyhow, I want to thank you for hanging in there with me and for joining me. Maybe we could drink a little bit more coffee here. All of these moments in our life are precious, and I appreciate you sharing a lot of them with me here. So this one of my favorite ever songs from one of my favorite ever songwriters, and that's Jackson Browne. Well, I've been out walking. I don't do that much talking these days. These days. These days I seem to think a lot about the things that I forgot to do for you. And all of the times I had the chance to. Well, I had a lover. I don't believe I'll risk another these days. These days. And if I seem to be afraid to live the life that I have made in song, well, it's just that I've been losing for so long. And I'll stop my rambling. I don't do that much gambling these days. These days. These days I seem to think about how all the changes came about my way. And I wonder if I'll ever see another highway. Well, I'll stop my dreaming. And I don't do too much scheming these days. These days I sit on cornerstones, count the time in quarter tones, till 10, my friend. Don't confront me with my failure. I've not forgotten that. These Days by Jackson Browne. That's the updated version. He kind of rewrote it, I think, during the pandemic when he was, when as he said, I wonder if I'll ever see another highway, you know. And I see GWF Hagel is here. And I think I've said hi to most of you. If I missed anybody, I apologize. There's a nice note from Dave Mason you can see on there about his friend Bob Cheever from Austin, who's doing a Farewell UK tour, and he's going to go visit Dave at home because Dave cannot get out. I understand what that's like, Dave. So I'm gonna sing you this little mantra. I've been doing this mantra for a long time, and this mantra grew out of when Jan was very ill, and I was having a hard time getting through the night. This mantra became something I would say to myself. It comes roughly out of the metta meditation tradition, which is the loving kindness meditation. And Thich Nhat Hanh had a version of it, which I distilled because I couldn't remember all the words. There were too many. So I distilled it into these 4 simple things: to be happy, to be healthy, to be brave, and to be calm. And for some reason, when I say those to myself, especially the brave and calm part, it girds me up, kind of holds me up there. So you might guess that over the course of the past week, I'm kind of doing pretty good right now, but those first couple days, this mantra was useful for me. So. Be happy and be healthy. Be brave, be calm. Be kind, it's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. Hope to see you guys on Wednesday, and tune in for Cozy on Tuesday. Bye-bye.